Hello and welcome to another episode of Stella's Scauldron. Today we're going to be talking about Ernie's Market here in Wenatchee. Some of you may have already heard about the CEO of Confluence being ejected by an employee of Ernie's Market for nothing, for existing, for some misplaced anti-vaccine anger. Here's the video of Allison Chamberlain bragging to her friends, so sure that everyone would be patting her on the back for her act of abhorrent behavior.
So I'm working today here at Ernie's, and guess who came in? Probably the one person that you want to punch in the face. And it was my pleasure to refuse service to him. Mr. Rutherford came in and I refused service to him. I told him he can move on to the super jet. And he's asked me why. I said, well, because hundreds of nurses have lost their job because of you.
We're going to talk about Dr. Peter Rutherford and his commitment to our community, as well as his position as a doctor. When I showed my sister this video, who works at Confluence, she had tears in her eyes and said he was probably just there for a friggin' meat stick. Who denies a good man who just wants a junk food snack? Dr. Rutherford is the chief executive officer of our local hospital and one of the largest employers of Wenatchee. He announced his retirement right before the pandemic hit and, like a freaking saint, put it off because it would have left the hospital in a bad state. So he stayed on and began closely training his replacement. Then, when his delayed retirement date was approaching, his replacement quit. And instead of continuing with his retirement again, he put it off again, because that is the type of person Dr. Rutherford is. So he started over with a new CEO-elect. This is how he is treated by the nearest market to the hospital.
Probably the one person that you want to punch in the face.
At the end of October, this man was honored by the Washington State Hospital Association, WSHA, and received the 2021 Joe Hopkins Memorial Award. It's bestowed as a Lifetime Achievement Award for a healthcare leader who has made outstanding contributions to healthcare in the state, and especially to rural healthcare like Wenatchee. Rutherford joined Wenatchee Valley Medical Center as a practicing doctor in 1990. He's literally been serving our community for more than 30 years. He specifically led the joining of our two hospitals in 2013 to create Confluence Health and began serving as the CEO. He built the ship he currently captains. In 2018, he was recognized as an outstanding leader in healthcare by the Puget Sound Business Journal. I can think of no one more dedicated to rural healthcare, no one more passionate about patients, and no one more deserving of this award. Confluence Chief Nursing Officer Tracy Kasnick said about Dr. Rutherford receiving the award from WSHA in October. The last 17 months have best illustrated his ability to lead an organization. Confluence Health's journey with COVID-19 happened quickly and over a matter of a few days. Dr. Rutherford was proactive and prepared his team for what was ahead. Since that time, he has been at the table, attended meetings, and worked to mitigate impact to providers, staff, and patients. He has spent countless hours rounding with staff and providers, calling health districts and WSHA and determining guidance to set the course going forward. This has been invaluable. Most importantly, staff knows he cares, and this helps to keep them going. I know that I am better because I've worked with Peter Rutherford. According to the WSHA, under Dr. Rutherford's leadership, Confluence Health has grown its workforce by 60%, opened 3 new clinic locations, including an on-site partnership with a local employer, and new services and technologies. In addition to internal medicine, his clinical interest is predominantly geriatric medicine. He is dedicated to developing a health system that is financially sustainable improves the value of patient care, and ensures local access to a range of safe, high-quality services while maintaining local leadership in healthcare. Allison Chamberlain doesn't care about any of that, though. She just wanted to be popular with the anti-vaccine crowd because the hospital, which is a medical institution and follows medical science, was compelled to follow the health directive given by the governor of the Washington state and the Board of Health. In that mandate, all medical personnel must be vaccinated. I mean, setting aside the logic of complying with vaccine requirements in a medical setting, why are conservatives so outraged? I mean, these people had a choice, and they chose to lose their jobs rather than help protect their community. 23 people resigned from Confluence after they refused to get vaccinated, and 138 exemption requests were not granted. So not hundreds, as Allison says in her video. Keep in mind that the hospital had dedicated lawyers and doctors to review all medical and religious exemptions, 229 of which were granted. Also, keep in mind that the hospital employs nearly 5,000 people, all of the rest of which did their duty as a compassionate community member and got vaccinated. So thank you to all of you that did that. You're amazing, and we appreciate all of the work you do every day during this unheard of pandemic. As I was looking into this, I came across a public post with an amazing idea posted by Julie Rickard. She laments Dr. Rutherford's treatment at Ernie's Market in Wenatchee and reinforces that he is an amazing person who did not deserve to be treated like that. Julie posts a message from another doctor at Confluence, Dr. Jen Jorgensen, who is asking on Dr. Rutherford's behalf that we all avoid Ernie's Market. Dr. Rutherford would never ask something like that on his own because he's a classy dude. Let's do as Allison says and go to the Plaza Superjet instead.
Move on to the Superjet.
Which isn't that far away. Dr. Jorgensen wants everyone to know that Dr. Rutherford has in fact received death threats over compliance with the vaccine mandate, which was literally his job. Another employee of Confluence, MSPT Renee Monson, had another fantastic idea. Let's send some love mail to Dr. Rutherford in order to drown out the asshats like Allison and the conservative outrage machine. And we need a lot of people to participate. So if you'd like to do so, send a note or postcard to attention Dr. Peter Rutherford, 1201 South Miller Street, Wenatchee, Washington, 98801. Include a short, personal message or words of inspiration. Renee suggests stopping by a local pandemic-friendly store like Tumbleweed, Pickled Pears, or Wenatchee Ware to pick up note cards for the project. Let's tell him how much we appreciate his dedication to our community. Make sure to share this with your family and friends so we can show him how much he means to us. Thanks for listening, and as usual, all sources will be in the description of the video and on Progressive Devilry's website. This has been another episode of Stella's Scauldron. Keep an eye out for one another, and let's make progress. Oh, and thanks for the beer, Rachel.
Hit that subscribe button to stay updated with us. And any sources we've used in today's episode are below or are available on our website at progressivedevilry.com.